Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. My name is Garrick and today we are diving into one of the coolest features on the Nikon D850, and that is internal focus stacking, or as Nikon calls it, focus shift shooting. Whether you're a macro photographer trying to get all the intricate details of an insect or a Rolex watch or what have you, or you're a landscape photographer and looking to get tack sharp images from front all the way to the back, this feature can certainly elevate your photography game. Before we jump into the settings, let's talk a little bit about the gear that you're going to need to pull this off. Of course, you're going to need the Nikon D850. Depending on who you talk to, some people will tell you to use a macro lens, some people tell you to try to use a prime lens. For this example today, I'm just using a Sigma 2470 2.8 lens, which is one of my favorite lenses to use, so I'm just using that today. So this will not work with a manual focus lens. You're also going to need a sturdy tripod and a fully charged battery and a memory card that has enough space on it to capture up to 100 images, and ideally a consistent balanced light source. Alright, so let's jump into the D850. Alright, the first thing you're going to want to do is arrow up to the photo shooting menu, and then depending on where you are, you might hit scroll down or scroll up a little bit down to focus shift shooting. We'll get there. There it is. Focus shift shooting, and then you just press the center button and it brings you right in. So number of shots, and you can just select what you want to shoot. I did 115, but the camera is pretty cool. If you pick way too many, if you put 115 in there and the camera only needs 20, it's just going to do 20. So the next thing you're going to do is the focus step width, and that means the distance between one focus point and the next. For example, if you're shooting a macro image of an insect, you're going to want to use a lower step width number. If you're shooting a landscape, you'll be able to get away with a bigger number. And you're just going to use the control pad on the upper right hand side of the back of the D850 to change the width from low to high, and when you've got it to where you want it, just hit the OK button and you're good to go. For interval until next shot, I've always left that at 0. And then the next one on the list is exposure smoothing, and Nikon actually suggests that you leave this off. And then you can see here the next one is silent photography, and I personally like to have that one on, because that means the mirror is going to stay up through the whole shot, so which, you know, obviously reduces the possibility for shake, which is always a good thing. And then starting storage folder, I don't ever mess with. Now you're going to see how your start indicator is lit up in yellow. You just press the yellow bar there and the camera does the rest. Alright, now that we know how to do it, let's give it a try. First, let's make a little space on the old desk so I can set up this awesome little light box from Shotbox. My wife bought this for me. Gonna try shooting some film this year, so I figured why not use these film boxes that are colorful and bright for my subject matter. Purposely put a little bit of space between each film box, and then got my tripod, my camera, and this extra light. Didn't really need it, not sure why I did it, but I did. Make sure your camera's in autofocus, and then you're going to want to focus just slightly in front of the nearest point of your subject. Since this is pretty much a macro shot, we're going to set the step width at 2. And interval at 0, exposure smoothing is off, and silent photography is going to be on, and we're going to hit the old start button and let it go. Alright, so here you can see where I imported all the images, and I shot these at f20 ISO 100. And as I scroll down, you'll see that it's, even though I had it set to 115 images, it stopped at 25 images. And again, this is at a step width of 2. Now I'm going to highlight the 25 images and right click and click on Open as Layers in Photoshop. So this is going to take a second, so I'll speed this up. Once you have all of your layers in Photoshop, now you're going to highlight the layers again and align them by going into Edit, Align Layers. And then you're going to get this pop-up box here, and I always just click on Auto. Then click OK, and Photoshop will do the rest. And just remember, it's 25 images, so it's going to take a little time. Now we've got 25 aligned and blended images. And then what I do is I go to the Layers tab up top, click on that, and that opens up the menu, and then I scroll down to Flatten Image. That will take the 25 layers and flatten them all down into one image. And then I'm going to save that, which will send it right back into Lightroom. And here I am back in Lightroom, and you can see where there was 25 images before my hand there. Now there's 26. And that 26th image is a TIFF file as it came back from Photoshop. You can see here as I'm zooming in, it's just crazy sharp front to back. I just love it. Now I'm going to take it into the Develop panel and just do a very small, quick little edit on it and be done. Alright, so here's the very first image we shot. F20, focused on the Phoenix film roll, and you can clearly see how the focus falls off front to back. Now here's our focus stacked image, and you can see how tack sharp it is from the very front all the way through the image all the way to the back. Hey, and that's all there is to it. You are this close to getting out and shooting focus stacked images. How cool is that? Tack sharp front to back. Or shooting macro focus stacked images. Getting those watches, getting those toys, getting those insects, all that cool stuff. Very good. Let me know if this was helpful. I really appreciate you all stopping by the channel. My name is Garrick, and I am your very best friend in the whole wide world, so you all know the drill. Like it if you did, subscribe if you haven't, and ring that notification bell so you don't miss a thing. We'll see you all next week, everybody. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.